I'm Mark Karlin, founder, editor, and publisher of BuzzFlash.com, a progressive news site. BuzzFlash started because I felt there was a need for a progressive site on the internet that provided news and commentary through a progressive pro-democracy lens. At that time, the Drudge Report had received a lot of attention, particularly during the process of the attempted impeachment of Bill Clinton. And I felt there weren't enough voices on the internet, weren't enough sites that allowed the progressive reader a place to go to see news and commentary through a pro-democracy lens. And so that really, through a sort of passionate motivation, was the basis for my starting BuzzFlash. Since then, of course, the number of sites on the internet that offer a pro-democracy perspective and a progressive perspective have exploded. We've managed to increase the number of people who read our site amidst that growing trend, which we're very excited to see. I've always personally been involved in politics. I've been involved in social advocacy issues for many, many years, including efforts to reduce gun violence, efforts to eliminate payday loans, areas of social justice. I also have a firm that is involved in advocacy, and so therefore BuzzFlash was a logical outgrowth of my efforts relating to public policy issues. We survive out of the generosity of our readers, and that generosity has grown over the years. It's allowed our staff to grow. It's a different model. It's quite innovative. We want to be free of advertising because we don't want to be influenced by advertising. We also want to be able to offer the services of BuzzFlash to anyone regardless of income, so we don't charge for subscriptions. Our email alerts are free. In short, it's a public citizen participatory model of journalism. And perhaps that will be a new wave of journalism. We don't know how far that wave will go because costs continue to rise as readership rises, and thus far the generosity has kept pace. Will there be a limit to that? We don't know. But certainly the real ownership and investment in BuzzFlash is our readers, and those are the people we're responsible to. If we are not of value to the readers, we cease to exist. So it really is a very different model, because the only thing that keeps us going is our reader support. If they decide that we have no value, we cease to exist, because there is no other form of income for us in order to pay salaries, pay rent, and pay the cost of growing BuzzFlash. And readers have allowed us to become a network. We have about 6 different sites now that are part of the BuzzFlash network, and we're going to be adding one the end of September. I think journalism should be a very dynamic concept. What makes journalism is subject to much debate. Certainly there are journalists who are trained in journalism, and it's very important to remember to have a respect for the truth and for the facts. And it is a craft. There is no question about that as far as persons who are trained in that craft. So I think the question of what is journalism today is a very, very valuable one. And the more important question is, what is perceived as traditional journalism? Is that failing the American public now because it's undergone a transformation in terms of format and style and limitation due to a combination of corporate control and technological advances that doesn't allow the full skills of what someone is trained in journalism school, doesn't allow those full skills to really be utilized given the restraints in format and the corporate frame of mainstream journalism. To what extent we're entering a new age of journalism where readers in essence, own the publication they read is something that will be tested over time. Thus far, the model has worked extremely well for BuzzFlash, and the relationship and the bonds with our readers are strengthened by the fact that they really are the ones that own the publication, because they're the ones that provide the funds that keep it going. How much that can evolve into what may become the new journalistic ownership model remains to be seen.
What gets you up in the morning? Why do you like to do this?
I get up in the morning to set up the page. We usually have a nighttime editor, but I make the editorial decisions, which, as I said before, functioning as a news editor, are subjective. They certainly are in BuzzFlash, and I would maintain they are in mainstream journalism, but we readily admit they're partisan in BuzzFlash. And I get up because I'm very excited to see what is the news, to get the site in order, to decide what's going to go above the fold, so to speak, above the masthead on BuzzFlash, and to look through the email to see what people are saying, to forward it. We have something called the mailbag, which is a very popular feature, which is really letters to the editor, but it could be 100 emails a day, it could be 80 emails a day. We don't pick everything, we couldn't possibly, because we get several hundred a day. I'm excited to read through those. Mostly I'm excited to know that this prism that we offer, that is helping to try to galvanize through information the pro-democracy movement in the United States, is going to be going out to at least 180,000 people. That's what gets me up and gets me going.